All right, good afternoon. I know we're feeling good, so that's good. Who's ready to talk OneNote for Windows 10? Very exciting, I like it. So before we even get in there, who has used OneNote for Windows 10 ever? All right, I like that, I like that. Who has used it in the past year? The same amount of hands, I'm not gonna lie, I honestly wasn't expecting. Who has used it in the past 3 months? Wow, okay, there goes the rest of my joke. Who has used it today? Okay, all right. Well, actually, that's great. I'm going to make sure to take a picture and bring that back to base, because that's really encouraging. Because we've been putting a lot of work into it, we really do feel like it is going to be the best OneNote on Windows. And so it's great to see so many people already getting in there and trying it out, so thank you. Before I start talking about all the wonderful new features, the wonderful existing features, and the greatness that is OneNote for Windows 10, I'd like to just get this out of the way, if that's okay with you guys. So Office 2019. In April, we made a big announcement that the default OneNote app in Office 2019 was going to be changing. The default app. I'm belaboring the word default here because we're not killing OneNote. We love OneNote. I love OneNote. I mean, I guess that's kind of obvious. But it's not going anywhere. OneNote for Mac is not going anywhere. We love OneNote for Mac. And in fact, we're releasing very shortly on, I know this isn't a Mac talk, but Touch Bar, that's coming new for Mac. So we are investing in Mac. The only thing that we announced and the only thing that is happening is that the default app when you use Office 2019 is going to be OneNote for Windows 10. OneNote 2016 is still going to be there for you if you want to download it. In fact, it's still in support through 2020 and through extended support through 2025. So, you know, to paraphrase a paraphrase of Mark Twain, like, the rumors of my demise have been greatly exaggerated. I just want to kind of get that out of the way. And we'll talk more and we'll take questions on that, of course, later. Getting right into it. OneNote for Windows 10, otherwise known as the app. I know, this is the full name, but it's the app. So why are we all in on this? Why do we feel that it is going to be the best version of OneNote on Windows 10? Right off the top, it's consistent. It's consistent with everywhere you use OneNote. If you go to OneNote Online, if you use the Mac client, if you use the Windows client, it's all going to look the same, it's going to feel the same, and in general, it's going to act the same. That's really important for when, you know, if you're in, say, an enterprise scenario where you're using different things on the go. This is critical for education, frankly, for when kids are going to look for any excuse to throw up their hand and say, teacher, I can't do it. And if their version of OneNote looks different than the version of OneNote, you know, even slightly that the teacher is using, that's going to be something that, oh, I can't. So consistency is a really big point for us. Industry-leading accessibility. OneNote and OneNote for Windows 10 has fantastic accessibility, specifically with features like Immersive Reader and Dictate, which we'll talk about. It really blows away some of the old versions that we had out there. It ships with Windows 10. I don't know. I mean, I love this, of course. But you get a new Windows machine, Windows 10 machine, OneNote is going to be there for you to jump into right away. It's going to be easy for you to get started in that. I put a little asterisk because I'm making it even easier. In about 60 days, if all goes well, although don't hold me to that in this recorded session, we will be releasing a new functionality that actually allows you to automatically load any notebook that you previously had open in 2016 automatically over. So it'll be a one-click load and get right back to where you last were. It is absolutely our point to get you up and going as quickly as possible. And then frankly, one of the most exciting things is Modern Sync, and of course with offline support. And Modern Sync here is our new improved sync pipeline. It's available only in the Modern clients, Modern here being in OneNote for Windows 10, in Apple, online, in the mobile clients, Android and iOS. And it is much, much, much quicker. It is more robust, fewer errors, and this is something where another reason that we absolutely love OneNote for Windows 10. And then lastly, you get updates every month. So I love this because I get to get you guys new stuff as quickly as possible, which is always a good thing. You guys kind of ruined my joke with this one because everyone's been using it so recently. But if you hadn't been, we've been up to a lot over the past year. You know, I had an experience where, you know, maybe 2 years ago, I was working on a different project, and we would have the joke in the office, which OneNote are you in? The old one, like the bad one, or the good one? But a lot has changed to the bad one to make it the good one. The app is the good one. It's fine. So we've put in a lot of new features, a lot of missing features, and this is an ongoing thing for us. We are going to continue to get all of those features in there that you need. And there's already been a lot in just the past 12 months. What do I mean when I say modern sync? This is what I mean. I'm going to let that run again, just because it's our favorite thing to see. I could just watch this loop all day. So what you're seeing here is on the left, you've got a Surface Book. On the right, obviously, you have a Mac. On the left, you've got that fancy new iPhone with the notch. On the right, you've got an Android phone. And you can see all on the modern endpoint, all syncing lightning quick. Obviously, there's no error conditions here, but if there were, it'd be even easier to recover from. So it's a really nice experience. Other things in OneNote for Windows 10. The UI, I mean, I just talked about this, but it offers industry-leading accessibility. We believe it really has a nice, clear relationship between your sections and pages. We think that, and of course, across all the clients, you're going to have that consistent experience. Now, I will say that we've gotten a lot of feedback about our navigation changing. And actually, I'm going to show you something in here in a minute, super secret, as long as you promise not to tell anybody. But we've got a new thing we've been working on very hard to kind of address some of this feedback. And I will say, in general, I have a gentleman sitting next to me, he's by name of Kentaro. Every piece of feedback that you guys submit through the Feedback Hub, we review. He literally will, in our open office space, lean over and go, hey, Ben, look at this one. Hey, Ben, look at this one. So it is a situation where when you guys provide feedback, it's in our brains. It absolutely is. And that's why I'm excited to show you some new stuff. Speaking of new stuff, this is a top request, and we've finally gotten around to it. This has been in development for some time. We mentioned it in our April blog post, and we're excited that it should be rolling out in about the next month or so. And you're going to be able to search for your tags again. This has been one of the things that has been stopping people from kind of migrating over, and we're very pleased that it's there now. Along those same lines, custom tags are coming. This is another key thing. Organization is in the eye of the beholder. However anybody wants to organize, we want to allow you to do that in the app of your choice. And so that is another key feature that we're bringing to OneNote for Windows 10. Here's a big one, Outlook integration. We know that you can still use the existing Outlook integration, but it'll open up OneNote 2016. And since this is a talk on getting started for OneNote for Windows 10, I'm here to tell you, you can also now, we're going to have it so that you can just send stuff right into the app. This is just another thing where if you've used our clippers that are available on the web, where you can send a piece of content directly into a section, directly into a page. This is another thing that's coming. It's rolling out through dog food right now. It's going to hit insiders and stuff shortly. This is just another example of where we're catching up to where we need to be. And then here's where we get out ahead. So I'm pleased to show you guys for the first time cloud attachments. So this is a feature that we are in spirit borrowing from Outlook. This is actually the ability to get a file and embed it inside of OneNote without actually having the file embed. What happens is you actually upload the file to OneDrive, and we'll take care of that for you automatically. So you drag it in, file goes up to OneDrive, and you can see a live copy right inside of your notebook. Why is this important? Well, for one, if you've got a massive PowerPoint presentation and you want to have it inside of the PowerPoint, you no longer have to embed a gigabyte file inside of your OneNote and wonder why it's taking so long to sync. That's one great thing. Two, edits are live, so as changes are made, you never have to worry about, are we looking at the latest spec? That might be something that's a conversation that comes up inside of Microsoft. But same thing goes for a schedule. When did the schedule update? Am I looking at the latest copy? _ final kind of thing. So this is always live. That's great. But I don't want to just talk to you about OneNote for Windows 10. I'm going to show you OneNote for Windows 10. So let's go ahead and get into this. So here we have OneNote for Windows 10. That was really well timed. There we go. And just as by way of quick introduction, I know a lot of you have used it already. But things off the top you want to see, you have your navigation on the left. We have the ability to open your notebooks, to see what notebooks. You have the user accounts that are signed in right there. We have your sections. You can add section groups. And of course, you have your pages that are part of your sections. And so this is all well and good, but what about those cool new features? So let's say that I was in here, and I wanted to do a search for this, in this demo notebook we have, Sarah was planning a vacation to Paris. So if I wanted to find all the information about Paris, I can do a simple search, which is great. But now if I wanted to actually look for all of the things that I needed to plan for my Paris vacation, now we see that we can search for tags. And here I can search for to-dos. I can search for, if not my Paris trip, for the Montana camping trip. We can see and it can locate all of the individual to-dos that I have. Eventually, this is going to be extended to be able to search for checked items and unchecked items. But for us, it was really important to kind of get out the door. You can search for your tags. But wait, you might say. The tags built into OneNote right now, OneNote, the app, aren't, I have old tags. I have legacy tags. How do I search for those? Luckily, that absolutely also works. So here's a custom tag that's part of this notebook. You can see here, it'll bring me right to my custom tags where those have been used. So this is just another way where you can, all the ways that you're using OneNote already, I want you to keep doing it. So that said, let's see, what do I have? I know I had some to-dos here for this demo. Oh, perfect. So I was able just to search and find my personal demo notebook. I'm going to go ahead and check. Cloud attachments, this is a fun one. So let's say now, whoops, made an extra page. Let's come on down to here, where I'm not sure, those of you who may have seen this legendary University of Washington talk about chicken. I would encourage you, just go and search for chicken, University of Washington, and this embedded video will show up. It's a quite inspiring talk. And along with that inspiring talk, the intrepid researcher who wrote this paper also did this talk, also wrote a paper on the topic of chicken, including mini diagrams. It's a nice paper. And so this is a critical piece of research that I absolutely need in my notebook post haste, so I'm going to go ahead and get that done. And to do that using cloud attachments, all I need to do is go into Insert, File. This is pre-release, so strings may change. But you can see here, Insert as Cloud File. Simply select that and upload that. And what it's doing is it's uploading that document to OneDrive for me. It's creating a live copy of it so that I can go in, I can view this, I can share this, I can unshare it, I can make changes. And just to kind of prove that this is live, I'm going to come in here. You can see that this is the document now in the full Word online editor. Oh, I wasn't signed in. If I were to sign in and make changes, those changes would be immediately reflected back. I'm not going to belabor as you guys see me watch type passwords. But it's just another example of this live. This works for all Office documents right now. We're going to continue to extend this to things like videos and file types so that we're trying to get your notebook as lean and mean as possible so it can sync everywhere while still giving you access to all of your content that you want. So now that I've done that, let's go ahead and go back. Check. It's funny on the OneNote team, we often do these sort of profiles, of who are our users and things like this, and we'll sit and we'll do studies and we'll sit there and we'll talk about this. And I'm kind of one of our target users. I use OneNote to organize my thoughts. I use it so kind of when I'm going through here and checking, it's kind of a little joke, but it's also, this is, how we go through. This is certainly how I organize things. It's absolutely using OneNote, which is why I probably would have forgotten to go ahead and do Dictate if it wasn't sitting there for me. So who has used Dictate here before? I see one. Okay, good. I get to show something great. So Dictate is a fantastic implementation of some of our cognitive services that you might have heard about elsewhere in some of these fancy talks. And what Dictate does if it works right, I should be able to do the following. I can just talk, and as I talk, it's going to actually pick up what I'm saying and write it down. And I don't know about you guys, but personally, I'm better at talking than writing. I can talk to think. And later what I'll do is I'll go back and actually go and edit this, do things like, I don't know, add periods, although sometimes I feel like I have a run-on sentence, just one sentence come out of my mouth anyway. So this is another great accessibility feature where I can just talk, it writes, but we also have the other way around as well. Because don't just take my word for it. Using, where is it? Using an immersive reader, you can have the computer speak it back for you. And this is one of those accessibility features that we talked about. This was originally designed for education, but then we very quickly realized, hey, it's really cool if you can just put on headphones and have something read your OneNote page to you. So for example, if I come down here, oh, I can't hear it.
Actually pick up what I sing and write it down. And I don't know about you guys, but personally, I'm better at talking than writing. I can talk to think, know later what I'll do.
All right, we're going to go ahead. You already just heard me say that. Point being is that you can do this in different languages, different accents. This is actually something, internationally. It makes a really big difference for assistive technology. When something is talking to you in your accent, I mean, I'm up here as an English-American speaker, but as an English-British speaker, or any other language or dialect, it means a lot. We were in Scotland, and the kids there were saying, when is it going to talk like how I talk? Because that kind of representation is important. And so with all of the different languages and features that we have in here, we're committed to doing that across the globe. Check, check. Accessibility checker. Here's a fun one. So we all want to write accessible content. Looking at this right now, this looks pretty accessible to me. But if I go in and I click this button that says check accessibility to see how somebody using, say, a screen reader, like that screen reader might view it, we come up with a number of warnings. And these warnings are going to explain to you basically what you need to do in your content to make it fully accessible to anybody. Making our content accessible isn't just good for us. It's not just good for me. It's not just good for somebody who can use the app, but it is life-changing for those who are using assistive technologies. And when you make your content work good with screen readers, I promise you it's going to work even better without screen readers. So for example, this is saying I have too much white space here. And it tells me why. So if I just go ahead and delete that, then run a refresh, it's going to say I'm fixed. If I come in here, it's also going to be able to highlight places where I'm missing alt text. Say on a picture, we'll see that in a moment. There's alt text is really important. Again, I might know what the image is, but somebody looking at the notebook might not. There's a great example. Check. Tables. So I'm not Excel. I will never be Excel. We have Excel if you'd like to do things like Excel. However, that said, we can do better, and we are doing better. For example, here I copy-pasted in last night a table of the MLB home run leaders. I'm a fan of the Red Sox. Go Sox. So I'd like to see JD's name a little higher in that list, but he's working on it. He's going to get that triple crown. But this table would look even better if I didn't have all those lines everywhere. So now you can get rid of the lines. I know it's just one little thing, but it is one little thing. These things start to add up. And then if I come across here and I say, oh, these columns are too confusing to me, I can now click and drag, select a column. In one click, I'm good. So while I am not Excel, and I will not have formulas anytime soon, it certainly is showing you that just bit by bit, we're going to continue to add ease-of-use features that are going to make your life that much better. Check, check. All right, who's ready to see the super secret stuff that maybe I shouldn't show, but I'm going to anyway? You good? Okay, I got Rebecca in the front excited, so that's my pass. I'm good. On-object editing UI. So this is something right now, this is literally came from a status mail like a couple of days ago. I'm not sure if the dev even knows that I'm showing this on stage right now, but I am. Alan, good work. So right now, you see, again, we're integrating with ease of use features. So right now, your right-click menu looks something like this. Useful, but a little cumbersome. We're going to turn it into this. And this is actually our working prototype. So again, just bringing in that look and feel that we know that people need, frankly, that I need when I'm going in and editing my own stuff. Check. But wait, there's more. This is a twofer right now. You ready for this one? I'm going to show you two features at once. So one, I'm excited to show you our new navigation concept. And in doing so, I just showed you full screen. So that's a really cool one right there. I'm not sure if you guys have seen that one before. This is fantastic for doing demos like this. If I wanted to go in and grab a pen to, say, highlight some things as I'm going here. So this is our new navigation concept that we're working on. And hopefully you're going to be seeing this in the next couple of quarters. But we've received a lot of feedback. One is when you only have 2 panes showing, how do I know what notebook I'm in? So that's one thing. We're adding a quick notebook switcher. The other thing is that a lot of folks don't realize how to change kind of views around. In fact, I'm going to jump right back in and show you that in a moment. But we're making this even easier to do things like pin and unpin and do settings right there, right in context. We're adding the ability for favorites, so you can get back to the content you want to get to. Maybe there's a page that you reference a lot. And then over here on the left, we have this left rail where we're making it easier to find search, favorites, your recent pages, all these kinds of things. Because, like I said, we have listened to the feedback. Just immediately right here, we've received a piece of feedback. I don't know where my notebook is stored. I know it's somewhere. I'm not exactly sure where. And that's why we're doing things like this right here. It shows you exactly where it is. That link will take you right to Office Online. It says you who it's shared with. And it's just another little kind of ease of use thing that's going to add up to really make this the premier client. So we're really excited about this. We've got, this is going to be rolling in the next several months. We've got another design that we're working on as well. And we're going to be bringing these to all of the platforms, that point of consistency. And it's just another great thing that we're excited to be improving. And I'm excited because I think that's down to the end of my list. Look at that. Check, check. So this is OneNote for Windows 10. That last little thing, the one kind of take you home if you didn't know this already, because a lot of people don't, is in this view right now, we have this navigation pane option. So you can actually go in and say, I would like to see only my pages. You can go in and say, I want to see sections and pages. You can go in and say, I would like to see the notebooks and sections and pages. Or you could say, I just want a clean surface, please get rid of everything. So all of these are options that are available to you today. If you go home, boot up your machine right now, you can go and do this. And that's just something that not everybody is aware of. And then similarly with sharing, available in the upper right, if you're working on a new notebook and you want to get somebody involved, by all means go in and grab that. Click share, go ahead and share away. So it's just a kind of just a little feature tour of all of some of the great things in OneNote for Windows 10. And I would say swing on by the booth that we have over on the expo floor, because I actually have a super duper secret, top secret prototype. Actually, where you can click around in some of the new nav if you'd like to see that. We've got t-shirts. Oh, I was remiss. We've got cookies. Our VP Laura is an excellent baker and sent me with a suitcase full of cookies for all of you. They've got a little OneNote stamp on it with purple glitter. They're really fantastic. They're back there. So I'm just trying to bribe you to come to the booth. But really, so I'll be able to show you anything you'd like to see on Win 10. We're the experts, so by all means, stop on by. So now what I'd like to do is just flip back over. And then just recapping what we've seen. Everything I just showed you is coming. That's why I showed it to you. I sure hope, anyway. And then we're having new updates every month. Now that said, I know. Part of the problem whenever somebody puts me on a stage is I'm often too transparent. I know that there are things missing in Win 10. There are absolutely things missing in the app. Templates is something that actually one of the PMs on my team is working on literally this moment. Yes, we've woken up now in Redmond, so she's working on it right now. OCR improvements. OCR does work, by the way, in OneNote for Windows 10. It just works slower than it used to work, but that's something we're going to be fixing. Usually it takes a couple hours. We're used to it being immediate. We're going to get in there and fix that. Audio-video recording. That's another thing that we know we need to get into the app. A lot of people use it for that. PDF improvements, pen sizes. There is a thing we love to say our executive customers do, which is read and reflect, which is where you scan in a PDF document and ink it up sitting on top. These are both key things that we know we need to do better in. Same thing with printing improvements. Although there are some who might say, why would you need to print out of the digital notebook? Because the whole point is that you put it into a digital notebook. There are lots of situations where print is very important, and we're going to get better at that. And frankly, talk about things that are important, importing and exporting. Right now, for OneNote for Windows 10, and we encourage you in general to keep all your notebooks on the cloud. We really do think that's the best place for it. Performant, it's going to be backed up, it's available everywhere. But I appreciate the situation when you need to change accounts, when you need to get information out to just frankly print it to PDF, to do an export, any number of things. We're going to get better here because it's incumbent on us to get better here. I need to make, let's say this, I would not be comfortable with my information if it was in a place where I could not super easily export it. And that's why we're working so hard on this. So, what do I want you to do? Well, for everybody who raised their hands, thank you. You can go in and just continue to give us feedback. We review feedback in the user voice sessions. We review feedback in the Windows, the Feedback Hub. All of that comes right to us. I mentioned the brand new Getting Started. That's going to be coming in the next 2 to 3 months, where you're just going to be able to jump right over. So if you have an enterprise, which I'm going to talk about in a moment, you might want to hold off on wide-scale deployment until that comes, just to save yourself a little bit of an easy user upgrade, and then feedback. Please give us that feedback. So for the enterprise, how many folks here manage an enterprise or IT admins for a suitable amount of machines? Okay, excellent. Well, then this is for you guys. So it does come pre-installed, which is both good and bad depending on your point of view. Updates are delivered through the store. It is a store app. However, a lot of folks don't know that you actually have the enterprise store. So OneNote for Windows 10 can be managed through the enterprise store. So you still get all of the great ease of use and deployment with the fact that it's a store app, but you get the manageability through your IT consoles and all of your existing technologies there. So this is also something that I would encourage you guys to look at. And yes, if you're deploying wide scale, you can still deploy OneNote 2016. Absolutely. It's not there by default, but you can add it back. And to the point of enterprises who are already making the switch, you don't need to take my word for it, he says, as you are literally going to need to take my word for it. There are several enterprises who we're already talking with who are already making the switch over. They're using these things for like field notebooks. When they're disconnected, they're offline. There's a company who has lots of rail who we've been talking to. And they have people out in the middle of nowhere, because usually railroad tracks end up in the middle of nowhere. And they use Windows 10 to go and write content, syncs back when they come back in cell range, has the instruction manuals right there for them on their device. It's really great. Medical research and lab notebooks. Everything that I've shown you today is fully compliant, SOC C, I forget, I'm going to get myself in trouble saying the wrong compliance level. It's compliant. You can follow me later, and I'll get the exact level of compliance. But you can absolutely use it for medical notebooks, for lab notebooks, and we have several customers doing that already. In executive support scenarios, it really works great when you have, say, your boss or somebody like that is in a meeting. You can load in that information, get them the content. If there are action items to follow up with after the meeting, you can go and get those without, hey, how'd the meeting go, how'd the meeting go, how'd the meeting go. Whatever you see, you can get right at that because it's shared with you already. And we will be talking much more in depth on all these. Actually, we have another breakout session on Friday, right back here, same bat room, a little bit different time earlier in the morning, but me and my colleague Amrita, who is the senior manager in charge of Android, will be running through some neat little stories and 1 or 2 cool demos, assuming the conference Wi-Fi holds out, to show the power of sync. And then I would be remiss if I didn't bring it right back all the way around to say OneNote 2016 is absolutely remaining in full support through 2020, extended until 2025. It is not included by default, but is absolutely an optional install. And I would just encourage everybody to start transitioning today, for sure. It is the client that we use inside of Microsoft. It's the client that we use to develop OneNote. We really do feel like it's there to start using today in your key workflows. So that said, let's get some questions going. I'm sure there are a couple. I think we've got 2 mics up here in the front. Anybody who wants to come up on the mic for the recording, by all means, and for the simulcast.
Hi. I saw that the documents in your presentation were on OneDrive. I guess, is it still possible to store the documents on a network share like with OneNote 2016?
So you can absolutely embed the documents inside of the OneNote page. Is that what you're asking?
No, I mean the workbook. Can you still store the workbook on a network drive?
The notebook itself.
Yes.
Okay. So OneNote only supports connecting to cloud-connected notebooks. So it does not support local notebooks. That is a change that we are making from 2016.
So you have to use 2016 if you still want to store them on a network drive.
If you'd like to store it completely offline, completely on a local drive, yes, 2016 would be the way to go for you, yes.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. What else we got?
Hi. Just real easy softball one for you.
All right.
Can you move the navigation from side to side if you're just accustomed to, I think I'm on 13. It's on the right-hand side. Can you shift that around?
Yeah, that is something that we are absolutely working on with that next refresh of the nav design that you saw. Yeah. That's a key thing. I don't know exactly when that's going to be available, but it is something that absolutely feedback heard and something we're working on.
All right.
Cool. I got you. Thank you. Sure, right here. I'll repeat the question, yes. Question was Office Pro Plus. So it will not be included by default for new installs, but you still absolutely have the ability to go and download it or slipstream install, whatever you need to do. So that change would be effective with 2019. So with the kind of, today, I've been in a bit of a bubble being here. I don't know about you guys. I do know sometime whenever the GA availability for 2019, that's when that change is going to go into effect, yes.
When did that switch happen? A few weeks ago, I just had a couple people who were like, where's OneNote? Yeah, where is OneNote? Why isn't it there? So it's kind of when did you guys flip that?
There was a question, when did we flip a switch to not include it in default installs? We started rolling that out through Insiders. I feel like maybe a month ago, although there was a slight bug in the install in some of the logic for some of our Insider Fast users where we halted it. Going forward though, what you will see is just it won't be there on default installs unless you opt in for it. You might have experienced a little bug and we can talk, I'd love for you to come up, we can chat about it.
It's just when people get on the install software.
Yeah.
Install, and then just does the default install. So it's just not part of it anymore. And I'm fine with people using the app. I don't know why it's there, not there. I always was there before. I don't know what happened.
That's right, yes. We started rolling that out through Fast, Insiders Fast, and that's going to start hitting the GA sort of very soon, if not already.
But the app should be.
The app, absolutely. The app should be there, absolutely. And if not, let me know, because I'm doing a talk about it. I sure hope it's there. Question, yes?
Hi, I was wondering if it's possible to export your pre-existing notes from OneNote 2016 over to OneNote for Windows 10.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Point in fact, if you already have your notebook in the cloud, you don't even need to do anything. Literally just log in with OneNote for Windows 10 and it should be there already. If it is a local notebook, however, to the point, if you do have local notebooks, inside of, right now today, inside of 2016, you can upload that to the cloud with one click, which would then make it available. And in OneNote for Windows 10, in the coming, as I mentioned, in the coming weeks, there's actually going to be the ability to upload those local notebooks only using Windows 10. Because again, we're all in on this. We want to make it as easy as possible. Excellent question. Thank you. One in the back. Sure. So the question is how do I store the notebook online? And yeah, and so by default, when you actually, so in 2016, when you create a new notebook, you'd want to create the new notebook on OneDrive. If you create a new notebook inside of OneNote for Windows 10, you can only make them on a cloud drive. So you'd be able to, when you create the notebook, it would be created there for you. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you what, afterwards, why don't we can go over into the booth. I'd be happy to take the time and walk you through it for sure. In fact, there we can do a machine where you can do a side-by-side. Absolutely. No, for sure. All right, time for 2 more questions. Right over here.
Is it possible to share sections or pages instead of the whole notebook?
Question was, is it possible to share sections or pages instead of the whole notebook? Right now, no. Our recommended flow is to create a new notebook and copy over whatever content you would want into that so you can completely own and permission that notebook. But it is something that we are absolutely looking at. It does require a little bit of us going kind of under the covers to sort of fix some fundamental assumptions we have about the file system and the kind of behind the scenes. But just like I'm sure you want to do it, I want to do it too. You know, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to copy content into a different section. So that's absolutely something we're looking at. All right, one more. Who's going to bring us home? Oh, sure, right in front of you.
Is print to OneNote on the plan?
Oh, absolutely. So right now, print to OneNote is available as an add-in. Kind of, you got to go into the Microsoft Store and download it, starting with, I believe it's RS with the next update to Windows. You should be able to just go in and have that be there natively. If not, that print is absolutely there for you in the store. You just have to add the store. You have to go into the store and get the print to OneNote download. Tongue twister. All right, I lied. Last one. All right, go ahead.
In 2016, I have the OneTastic calendar. Can I get that into the app?
Question was OneTastic. Can I get OneTastic into the app? So far as extensibility goes in general, what we're doing is our kind of plan is to first catch up with a lot of the things that we talked about here today. But the developer who works on OneTastic, we know him very well. And it's something where we're going through to see which of those features are things that we need to bring in for sure. And then over the long term, we're going to be opening up the platform even more for extensibility. Indeed, lots of the things that we build through the extensibility framework at the Office add-in, but it's just for first party. Eventually, we're going to open that up for third party as well. I don't have exact timelines on that, but we actually just had a meeting about it last week, so we're on it. Excellent. Well, thank you guys. I might be making another mistake here, but here's my email. If you have any questions, concerns, I know I'm actually showing you. Please do send me. This is my job. This is my day job. I would love to hear from you. Any comment? Oh God, not people are taking quick pictures. I would love to hear from you. Honestly, I might not be able to answer every question. I may not be able to answer you immediately, but there's my Twitter, there's my email, and please, we are all in and committed to getting the best darn experience in Win 10 as possible. So, thank you very much. Oh, I know, and I will say, I know we do have these session evaluations. If you guys wanted to give us a 5, I would not complain about it.